take a look at this, ranking all 32 offensive playmaking groups. So this is the running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Bengals are number 1, Raiders are number 2, 49ers are number 3, Browns at 23. And in 2021, they were ranked 4th. 2020, they were ranked 2nd. And the comment is just not so sure about the Browns receivers. Even if Cooper's back in his old self, Browns are going to have a trio of mid-round picks in starting roles: Donovan Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz, David Bell. That's a fair assessment of the wide receiving core, but you're not taking into account the running back core, and I get the production with David Njoku. I get why it's low. 23 might be a little bit lower than I think it should be, though.
Yeah, it's definitely the wide receivers that swung that to land them as low as they did. Because if just compare for a second. The Bengals, who were number 1 on that list, would you take their running back room of Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, and Chris Evans over the Browns? No, you definitely wouldn't. I would even take their tight end room of Hayden Hurst and Drew Sample over Harrison Bryant and David Njoku. But the wide receivers are where it's swung. You know, you got – and understandably, this is a passing league, and that's kind of the first thing that gets looked at. But the way this offense is ran, it's not ran through the wide receivers like a lot of teams kind of run their you know, like that's the engine for the Bengals. Now, they might have to switch that up this year because they put a lot of good stuff on tape. Defensive coordinators are going to make adjustments. They're going to play different coverages. So they may have to rely on different, you know, skill sets to kind of keep them afloat. Whereas the Browns, I'm going to tell you right now what they're going to do. They're going to give the ball to running backs 30 times a game. You know, that's going to be the nucleus. Even with Deshaun at quarterback, you can't ignore the fact that running game is what it is. So, yeah, the receivers, and those are completely justified things. Like, if Cooper is to pull a hamstring and be out in a few weeks, you know, we don't know exactly how it's going to play out. You know, there's going to be guys that need to step up, and until that happens, it's just an unknown quantity of, like, what receiver is going to be like the guy going forward. You know?
Yeah, and even the tight ends, I'm with you. I think Njoku's going to have a big year. I think Bryant could have a pretty decent year too. They haven't done it yet for a consistent amount of time in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to earn it. You got to put good stuff on tape, and until then, you know, they're not going to show them the respect. They got to go out there and earn it.